What is up, everybody? Gonna get some stuff going here and wait for people to start showing up. All right. One person out there. Hello. First person who got here. It's getting ready to turn some stuff. Got to start it right, though. Got the grapefruit tonight. So, tonight, let me switch cameras. We're going to turn some handlebar ends. Should be interesting. So, for those of you who don't know what a handlebar end is, it's kind of like what it sounds. So, you got your handlebars in this case. Set of BMX bars. So, I'll be turning some plugs basically for the ends. And I want to make them removable. So they'll have a few different pieces and parts that I picked up at the hardware store to kind of try to make them removable. I got 2 designs that I'm going to try to make tonight. So a total of 8. Just should be a lot of fun, interesting. Well, I don't know exactly how it's going to work out, to be honest with you. I'm really worried that the first time the bike hits the ground, they're just going to smash. But nonetheless, it'll be fun. It's a cool collaboration with Golden Days Bike Co. down in Long Beach. You could check out in the description below. I got a link to their YouTube channel. It's a homie, Nate Richter. He's been around for a long time in the BMX world. And he opened up a shop recently, which is awesome. He's been hustling really hard. So, I mean, he hit me up. I talked to him about it. It was just sort of linked up and got it going. So we'll see how they come out. Hopefully it'll be good. Who we got out there? Who's the first person? I see we got one person all alone. Who we got out there? I'm going to be using maple and walnut. So I already pre-cut some blanks. Turning on my little small chuck with the pin jaws in it. I don't have any sketches. It's just kind of like an idea in my head. So we'll see how it works out. Yeah, let me get rolling on it. I'll start turning, and then we'll check back in a little bit. I may have to reposition the tripod, though. There we go. So I don't bump into you guys. Hopefully it's not too blown out, too. It's nice to have the light, but I want you guys to be able to see as well. Good Turn Daily. What's up? How you doing? Thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Yeah, cool. So I'm going to be using my carbide tool tonight. I think it's going to be perfect. If you've been watching any of the other ones, you know I don't use carbide too much. And this one I actually got for my son, so if he ever wants to turn pens or whatever, we'll have just kind of a little tool. That'll be easy for him to use. I also bought a roundover carbide that'll fit on this one. So, but yeah, it's going to be perfect for that. Just kind of push in, make it one consistent diameter is what I'm after, so that it will fit right down in the end of the handlebars. So I don't really need any like fancy tooling. I'm sure there's other stuff you could do it with. I know I've seen people use skew just even on its side. Just mash it in there. But I'm not really great with those, so I'm going to stick with this. We'll see how it turns out. It's hard maple, so this should cut it really well. I got the tool rest position, so we're cutting right on the center line. I'm just going to work my way up. About the length of the threads of this bolt, maybe a little longer, so almost to the right up to the jaws, but not quite there. And yeah, I never showed you. So the inspiration for basically how these are going to be sized, not necessarily it won't be the same mechanism that closes it, but this is a Arbach bar end from Matt Behringer. He lives in Salt Lake City, Utah, and he machines these. He's got a metal lathe in his garage, and he machines handlebar ends out of aluminum. So I'm basing like a lot of the sizing for different things off of this one, which these are best bar ends you can get, in my opinion. The guy who makes them is awesome. He's been in the BMX community for a super long time, and he's like a legend, basically. He's a legend. So why not base it off the best and go from there? Can I zoom in? Let's see. Yeah, I should be able to. The problem is the closer that you get, sometimes the less it wants to focus. How's that? Make sure we're not bumping on the lathe. Is that better? Hopefully that'll work. But I'm going to get rolling here and just start cutting until I get down to this size. So the idea is for it to fit easily inside the bar end. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of extra wiggle room just in case. Put that right there. Face shield. Cool. Yeah, I don't know how fun these will be. Kind of boring. Do them all and, kind of batch each step individually. So I got my other ones right here. Always check it. Ooh, see this dang chuck has got some serious run out. Oh, it's unthreading. That's the issue. My goodness. I swear I've turned before. It's been a long quarantine, though. I'll tell you what. Let me just jam that on there. But another good lesson. Always check everything before you fire it up. Yep. Looks like we're right on center. Okay. All right, everybody. Technical difficulties. All right, little internet hiccup, but we're back now. So I'm gonna keep rolling along. A little bit more. All right. We'll call that good. There we go. Hey, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. I'll move my overhead light. We are still getting blown out, huh? Just really light colored wood. Okay, looks like it's a little thicker at this end, so I'm gonna have to take just a bit more off. Yep, just probably the width of the tool. Skim it off just a little bit. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's not too big of a deal if it's got some movement in it, because the plan is to have basically a sort of a wedge and a bolt that goes through it and grabs that wedge, and I will cut a slit down it. So as the wedge slides up, it's going to spread it out and hold it into the bars. But yeah, right there we got a little bit of movement, but should be good. Again, these are prototypes, so I can always change them. But we'll stick to this for now. See how it turns out. All right. Down here. See, it's all covered with shavings. I can't see it. We move on to the next one. I'll try to bash all these things out real quick. And then I'll jump over to the comments, see if there's anybody out there watching. It looks like there's one person back again. So yeah, I had a little bit of technical difficulties, but should be good now. I don't know. The internet dropped out on me for whatever reason. Probably tons of people on it, sucking up the bandwidth. Just a touch. We'll call that good. There we go. Ooh, 2 people out there now. Switching gears to some walnut now. So when I'm looking at the edge here, see if I can get you around real quick. Might not be as good, but I'm putting one edge of the caliper on the outside of the piece, and then resting the other edge on the inside, and then I see how much space is from the outside to where it touches, and then kind of try to visualize half of that space. It's really hard to hold on. Let me get a pencil. I don't even know if a pencil will work, but so got it on the bottom. So yeah, you probably can't even see that mark, can you? Hold on. You guys are lucky I like to make videos, or else you'd be stuck with terrible shots. See how steady I can hold it. So I put the caliper on the outside, make a mark here, and then I need to take that much thickness off, but half of it, since half of it's coming off this side, half of it's coming off that side. So I try to picture in my head that's about 1/8 of an inch, I would say. So a 16th. So that's what I'm trying to picture in my head as I'm making a cut on these. Is I want to take in about a 16th of an inch. Make sure you're not. Can't get too much closer than that. Off the legs of the tripod, bumping up against the lathe, and then they get all vibraty. Wow. So as I'm turning, I'm trying to go in about a 16th of an inch. So rather than sticking the caliper on a bunch. So just a little bit more. So you have time to crank up just a little more. Looks like it might be a little thick there. Oh, might have been a little heavy. No, we're good. A little thicker up here. But I did notice when I put the bars on, I can go a little bit thicker or a little bit larger. But I'm not sure if all bars use the same kind of tubing and whatnot. So there could be thicker wall diameter tubing. So I kind of want to account for that. All right, one more of this step. Almost there. Okay, so even that one was a little thicker. Cool. All right, we're done with all four of those. 2 maple, 2 walnut. So for I see Jason's out there, Jason Geyser. He's under his channel too. Check him out. Give him a sub. And Monchichi is out there as well. I am turning handlebar ends, wooden handlebar ends for BMX bikes specifically. So it's a collaboration between myself and my buddy Nate Richter. He owns a bike shop down in Long Beach, California called Golden Days. I left a link down in the description to his channel. It's a BMX-related channel. Reviews and riding videos and things like that. So not necessarily woodworking in any way, but BMX is a love of mine that I've had for longer than I've been woodworking or wood turning. So it's kind of cool that I can merge them both together. And I know these, it's like wooden bar ends. I don't know how well they're going to hold up. You know what I mean? But regardless of whether they hold up or not, it's just kind of a cool thing to do. So that's why I thought it would be a, I don't know, cool collaboration between Nate and myself. So we'll see what happens. I'm doing 2 sets of 2 different types. So both of them will move a little different, like the as far as the mechanics go. This one will be a little bit more crude and just rely on a slit down the middle and then a wedge-shaped bolt to expand it inside the handlebars. And when I say crude, I don't mean like junky, just simple, like about as simple as it gets. A screw and a wedge doesn't get much easier than that. And then the other type is going to use these rubber expansion plugs. And it's threaded. I forget, I think it's like 1/4 And I've got these Allen head machine screws. So in both cases, the screws will go through. In this case, once the split's in there, I have this, it's not actually brass, it's like grade 8 hardware, that gold color grade 8 stuff. But so I'll make a sort of a wedge-shaped hole in the end of this one that this can fit down into. And so as it tightens, it's just going to expand inside the handlebars. So there's that version. And then in this one, this part will be shorter because in the other design. So this one will sit up a little further. So as the plug comes in, it tightens and then it sandwiches in on itself. It smashes up against the back of this and starts sandwiching up and expands inside the handlebar. So this was all stuff that I found just like I was kind of racking my brain because I know how handlebar ends work. I was like a bike mechanic for about 10 years of my life. So I have a pretty good idea of what's going on as far as, how handlebar ends and things like that work and different ways that different bike companies attach them. But yeah, I was just kind of wandering around the hardware store until I found these things, looking in all the little drawers. I have a nice mom and pop hardware store. So looking in all the drawers and found all my stuff. Let me switch the camera real quick. I want to get have a drink. See what's going on out there. I think that's about it. We only got 4 people. How about hit the thumbs up? Share it with your friends. Get some more people out here. Tonight, I've got a grapefruit pamplemousse, if you will, LaCroix, and another LaCroix. Double LaCroix tonight. Hibiscus. This one's pretty good. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't see any questions or whatever out there, so let's get on to the next step. Like I mentioned earlier, before the internet hiccup, I got my list here of what I need, all the steps. So next up, we got to drill into the end. Let's see, switch the camera. Everybody's leaving now. They're tired of looking at me. I better get back to turning. There we go. Okay. For this part, see if I can maneuver the tool rest in such a way that you guys can still that should probably work. I'm going to keep it at the same level because I'm like pretty much cutting on the center line, so that's what we want. Hopefully the tool rest won't get in the way. This part, I just have to cut a little tapered hole. So I was going to do it with my detail gouge. It doesn't have to be very big or very deep. Just so this little fitting will go inside there. And it's about same diameter as my piece. So I want it a little bit smaller so it's going to wedge in there. A little bit bigger. Yeah, that'll fit in there. It's not super cone shaped. That's what I'm going for. A little bit more of a cone. I think I'm going to have to move my tail rest out of the way. I can't swing my handle around enough. I need to just kind of scoop it out. Just like I do with a bowl gouge. Let's see if this is going to blow it out. Nice to have a little light too. Hopefully not too bad. Doesn't have to be perfect. See, I was complaining about this chuck when I was turning the tops. Or maybe it was a lidded box show. But you just got to get it centered in the right spot. Maybe one more. That one looks a little better. So you're running there. That's probably about as good as it's going to get. So you're running pretty true, but there's just so much slop in the jaws of this grizzly that it's not really worth much. I wonder if there's another. Let's see what I got in my arsenal here. Even a parting tool might be an alright choice to make it more tapered. Let me give that a shot. It doesn't have to be very big or very deep. And I definitely want a taper to it. Oh, look at it run out of that. My goodness. The center is pretty much going to get drilled out. A little bit more, but I think that might be the move. Slightly more. Yeah, there we go. I want it to go in just a little bit. So we got plenty of threads. Yeah, I think I should have done this step both at the same time because now I didn't even really think about it. Now I'm dealing with all the run out in all of these. Unless I can find the where they were seated. Oh, that was terrible. Just gotta keep going forward, right? Oh well, my mistake. Prototypes. We'll chalk it up to prototypes. It's not going to be the end of the world. All right, last one on this step. Okay. Yeah, that one goes in there. Cool. All right, so the next step is, says switch to blank, turn the outside, then drill it. Okay. I think we'll do that. At least in my head, that's what made sense. Okay. Gotta move you guys a little bit. Reposition here. Cool. All right. Let me turn you around now. How's that? Oh, it's bright. Let's see. There's my kids riding on there. All right. So I'm going to take this, waste most of it away until I get to the thickness that I want, and then round it all over. Well, I'll be rounding it over as I'm taking it away. But yeah, I'll probably waste away quite a bit off the front because it doesn't need to be that thick. We only want about as thick as the bolt, the head of the bolt, and then some of the shank. So, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. I got my little I got to accommodate for the thickness of the back end too, but I can always trim that down a little bit. Let's see, let me pull it out of there so I can see what I got. Yeah, so that should do it. This is about the thickness of, yeah, these are all about the thickness, except for these walnut ones aren't, so I may have to alter those a little bit. Okay, sorry. This might not be the funnest one to watch. Just because these are, I don't know exactly how I'm going to make them, so I'm like figuring it out in my head as I go. Who else is out there? Wood by Colin. What's up, buddy? Yeah, always mark the jaws. I even have a video about that being a good idea, marking the tenons. It's one of my quick lathe tip videos. Jason says he's in the shop turning some garden dibbles. Planting garden soon, and I'm making some that are longer. What is a garden dibble? I'm not for sure what that is. Oops. He also says, cool to see the bar ends. I love to do turnings that fit my life. Yep, I also enjoy it. Hey, Gary's out there too. How you doing, buddy? We're about to get back to it. Oh, I forgot. I better mark the diameter I'm looking for too. Forgot about that. These are the bar ends that I'm basing it off. These of Gary, if you're still out there, these are made by a fellow in Layton named Matt Behringer. He's been really big in the BMX freestyle scene for a lot of years. He's basically a legend, but he's also a machinist, and so he machines these metal handlebars and bar ends. These are aluminum. Sometimes he does titanium also. Sometimes some steel ones. But so I'm basing the ones that I'm making off this, like as far as his sizes go. My mechanisms will be a bit different, but yeah, Layton. I just said Salt Lake earlier for those who've been watching all the time, but because they probably don't know where Layton is, but I know Gary knows where Layton is. I think he lived in Roy for a while too. There was a couple other guys from Roy. Matt Behringer. Don't ask me to spell it. It's spelled, I think, just like the wine. There's like Behringer wine. But all right, so we're working our way down to this thickness. So got a ways to go. Okay. Ooh, wouldn't you know? Nailed it. Not on purpose. Purely by luck. One thing I'm now thinking about is we may switch to the teardrop scraper. There's not a whole lot of tear out on the end grain. We'll see how the walnut does, but this is nice hard maple. So, all right. So now I'm going to pull it out just a tiny, tiny bit because I don't want to be cutting so close to these jaws. And I'm going to try to do it ever so carefully as to not get it out around. Not out around, but out of, yeah, that'll do. And that gives me just enough space to get it round. The ends of these are going to get laser engraved as well. So I got to make a little chuck for my laser engraver. So I can clamp it and just drop the bar end in, and it'll automatically sort of be centered and print the logo in the right way, because the logo's got to be all the way around the where the bolt hole is. So they should be pretty cool when they get done. I have the logo already done. I probably won't live stream that because it's not that cool, but you could check out Instagram I'm sure I'll post a bunch of clips of it there. It's probably going to be just when they're round. So let's see. Oh, so I do have a little bit ways to go. A little more. I haven't got a big wrench here that I could size them with. Thought maybe this size, but it was ended up being too big. This is 1.25 inches, which would be pretty large for them. I'm not sure exactly. Let's see. Yeah, we're about. I'll give you numbers I can read. 1 1/8, about there. It would help if I set these correct too. There we go. Lucked out again, I see. Okay. Let me drag this little teardrop scraper across the front of there. Pivot it just like that. Cool. Yeah, that took care of that. Sweet. Love that thing. JimmyClues.com. Check him out on the website, or check his website in the description below. Jimmy's the man. Huge inspiration and mentor to me. So yeah, I think I'm going to just put a little chamfer on the corner. We don't want to lose too much of our laser engraving space when it comes to that. So we'll see. Like I said, prototypes. Let's go on to, you know what? Maybe I should drill these rather than taking it out. Learn from my mistakes. So I'm going to skip ahead a couple steps and do them each individually so I can kind of compensate for the inaccuracy of the chuck. Thanks for reminding me, everybody. How long have we been going? Oof, hour already, huh? These are going to be expensive bar ends, Nate. Ultra limited edition, though. So, I'm going to drill through first, drill the through hole, and then I'm going to drill the countersink for the head of the screw. And just in case you're worried I don't have a a whole bunch of drill bits loose around on the top of my lathe. Although you did just hear an aluminum thing fall. I have a little magnetic dish that I like to keep everything in. All the important stuff that I'm going to be using, this time around or whatever, or stuff that I use all the time. I'll just keep it safe there. Okay. I don't know if I can mute, so I hope this isn't really horrible. If it is, bear with me. I'll try to do it as quick as possible. I'm going to turn the speed way down. I had it cranked up, but when you're drilling stuff out like this, you don't want your speed too fast. You want the chips to be able to evacuate as you're drilling in. I'm just going to go straight through. All right. We got it. All right, now for, excuse me, need a drink. Now to do, countersink. That one's a little bit larger. The nice part about doing something like this on a lathe is this is only going to advance as far as you let it. So if you're trying to do this by hand, sometimes that drill bit grabs just all the way through the piece, and then your whole piece is destroyed. So that's one of the benefits of doing it this way. I almost feel like a real machinist too, I'm a wood machinist. Not too far. Just so the head of that bolt a little bit more. I'm also wondering if I'm going to need to put a washer behind it because the head of this bolt isn't that big. But again, prototype stuff. And you really shouldn't need to crank down on it that hard to get these bar ends to seat in there and not fall out. And also, they're probably going to smash as soon as they hit the ground anyway. But it's fun. This is fun to do. Because you guys are hanging out. And I get to try something new. It's like a little more precision work. Rather than bowl turning. And this is also like repetition too. I never do a lot of repetition of things where all these have to be exactly the same. So this is a good skill builder for me. Usually I'm just turning bowls or one-off things. That should do it. Lip syncs just a little bit, maybe soft 16th in there. Let me pull it out. See if, oh, yep. Screw goes up through. And then this is gonna tighten on like this. So you'll put it together or you'll have it all together. You just slip it into the bar end, just like that. Then as you tighten it, once I get the wedge cut, that'll expand in there and hopefully trap it in there. Dang. These are kind of cool. I don't know if Behringer has a YouTube channel, does he, Gary? I'm not sure if he does. He's I just know him through the BMX world and through Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, if he does have a YouTube channel, that'd be cool. Or if I can make, I probably can't. Got any admins out there who can make Gary an admin, and then he could post a link? I don't know how many people are watching. Oh, we got 9 people watching. So, who we got out there? Yeah, let's do both of the maple ones first. I think it's a little bit longer. So we might have to cut a little bit of the end off of that one. Because this one was about perfect, so yeah, I might quickly alter this one. Here we go again. See, I should have marked it. I'm marking the next one. Oh, yeah, there it is. That'll be okay. Okay. Oop. Oh, what? Oh, yeah, we're switching now, aren't we? There we go. Good thing I got my list here. Tell me what I'm doing. Okay. A little bit more, about a 16th. That'll do it. I'm going to tear out. Yeah, I got to remember, leave myself a little extra so I can get rid of the tear out. Cool. Again, I'm going to pull this out so I'm not working right next to the a little bit more. Checker. See, this was a little out of center. We got a bit, but we still got a little bit of marker on there. That's right, though. These are artisan, hand-turned artisan bar ends. So if there's some discrepancies, I was just left to the artist's eye. So there you go. It's probably a piece of, or a little piece of a Fortnite guy. My son draws Fortnite characters and Minecraft characters all over everything. So probably a little bit of Fortnite on there. Just a little chamfer. Next up, we'll drill it out. You stay. Switch out my drill bit. Cool. There's two. Next, we'll switch to the walnut. And I think I am going to purposely leave these ones out right from the start because I need to get a little bit more material on there. These blanks were a little bit shorter than the maple ones that I used. So I'll leave it out about an 8, that looks like. So not too much. Still should be able to clamp on there fairly squarely. Because I'm going to have to come in and make that a little bit longer. So now I know what length to cut everything to. This was just sort of a scrap piece that I split up on my bandsaw. Wasn't as big of a scrap piece as I had a maple, so but we'll be all right. I'll come in with my parting tool rather than this one, so I can just take 1/8 of an inch away, and that's really all I need. But for now, let me zap this out. Okay, so we've got our space at the back there still. Come in this way. All right. That kind of cut is not ideal, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. I'm glad you guys were here to witness that. Safety violation of the highest order. All right. I'm kind of shooting just for round on these pieces. I'm almost there. You can hear it as it's. You can hear the sound getting lower and lower as it passes by. As you get closer and closer to the to being round, the sound is what I'm listening for, rather than visually, because it's really hard to see. That harmonic kind of sound where all of the wood is touching across the face of that little carbide cutter. Just a touch more. How's it looking at this one? Pretty spot on. Yeah, a little bit more. This one's got a, might be hard to see on the camera, but it's got a little bit of an upward taper. All right, I'm going to drag that teardrop scraper across the front. Texture on there. You just want to get it smooth. Cool. One thing I haven't done with the other ones is that those maple didn't really look like they needed any sanding. Okay. Hey, we're about done with all 4 of these. That's cool. And that's what, we're hour and 18 minutes. I bet you I could have been done with these ones by now, but I had right at the beginning of the show, I had a little, I don't know, about a 10-minute interruption when my internet decided to go down. So just as I had started turning the first one, internet went out. So I had to go fix that problem. Okay. But I can leave it right there. Still do it. A little bit more. Yeah, that should do it. Yeah, cool. Random quality assurance. Make sure the, oh, yep, that one threads on there. Cool. Yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that these are going to work pretty good. I'm excited to try the other little mechanism too. So let me knock this last one out. See, this would be a perfect opportunity to use my Vicmark VM100 chuck that I so desperately need. Okay, here we go. I'm going to start this time with that before I waste all this away, which is probably what I should have done in the first place. Cool. Let's round her off. Push it back and drill it. Cool. Oop. That was all the sanding that one needed anyways. All right. Okay, as soon as I get this one drilled out, I'll take a break. Anybody got any questions out there so far about what's going on or anything? What are you guys working on? How's everybody doing? How's the quarantine treating you? Good. Stuck it in the magnet, didn't I? Cool. I had just now thought if these don't hold up, maybe I can do it where the head sticks out just a little bit so that maybe this will be kind of the first thing that hits rather than the wood. But then again, I'm going to have to taper them a lot. I don't know. All the process. You guys get to come along with this on this exciting process with me. But so far, they're coming out pretty cool. Let me switch the cameras here, go out to the old chat, see if anybody's chatting away. Here's this one. I first saw Nick Cook turn garden dibbles at the Utah Symposium. What year was that? 2016 was the first one I went to. They are a tool for planting your garden, basically a stick with marks to know how deep to make the hole for your seed. That's cool. My wife and I have some seeds started right now, so maybe I need to make one of those. Dibble it up. Maybe that'll be the next live show. Are you going to dimple for the through hole? What do you mean by dimple? Like the countersink? Is that what you meant? But definitely, yeah. So the head of the bolt sits down in there. But these ones, unless you're talking about like internet again. Sorry. Thanks for sticking with me, though. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. Usually it's pretty good. Keeps going out. Yeah, we're just going to have a drink and go to the chat. Gary found a YouTube channel for Matt. I know he's in a bunch of BMX videos, but I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. I'll have to check that out. Oh, wow, it's turning use a skew to make the center spot. Okay, I gotcha. That's a good idea. Just, yeah. It doesn't seem to be messing it up too bad. It's going straight into end grain, so it's a pretty sharp, clean hole. But yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Just to sever those fibers even so it doesn't chip out on you. Yep. Good thinking. Okay. Let's get going on these next set. And these ones I'll have to cut them. I don't know if you guys are interested in watching me cut it, but it'll just be with a regular handsaw, nothing special. Well, it is kind of special. Wood by Colin, if you're still out there, I'll be using my bad axe combination dovetail small tenon saw. So kind of fancy. Well, might as well use it. Oh, I'm back, Gary. I'm back. Can't get rid of me. At least not that easy. Okay, so these ones are going to be a little bit different. They don't need to be all that long. Not quite. The part that goes into the bar doesn't need to be quite as long just because these screws aren't as long. So I want to get the, what do I call this? A plug? Expansion plug. That's what they're called. On there. Get it threaded on a few teeth. And then the total thickness is only going to be like that. And there'll just be a little bit of a plug that goes in. So actually, I might be able to get two out of this one piece. Yeah, it looks like I may. I may just. So let's give it a shot here. Now I want my plug. Let's see. That goes into the bar end. So it's about an inch. So we'll split it. 1/2 inch width on the outside. 1/2 inch for the one that goes in. Okay. So about 1/2 inch. I want my plug to go in. Yeah, that's actually what I got it set at. Cool. We'll go just a hair heavy on it. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do everything at once. So we're not going to take this thing out of the chuck like we did last time and switch them around. I forgot I got to switch camera. Sorry about that. Been over here talking about what I'm doing and explaining myself, and you're just looking at my big dumb face. Okay, there we go. I think if I can get you a little closer. Maybe. I don't want my tripod vibrate, or the lathe vibrating on the tripod and then causing this thing to shake all over the place. Cool, that should do it. Crank up the speed. So we're going for the inside now. We'll do 1/2 inch depth for our plug size, which I forgot I need to mark that. Thanks for reminding me. Just a touch bigger than I did last time, so maybe there'll be a little bit less slop. Of course, I do want to remember to accommodate for different size tubing on bars. So maybe I shouldn't go too much bigger. There, that'll do. Okay. So I think this is about 3/8 of an inch. So if I just take it heavy, yeah. Cool, we're right there. I'm gonna take just a bit off the bottom. Ideally, it should be about the same diameter, yeah, as the plug. Oh, I have to check it too. Yeah, we got a ways to go. But we want about the same diameter as that plug. Good, just about. A little bit more. Looking good. I think the plug's a little larger than, yep, it is. Let's do the ultimate test. Oh yeah, that slips in there just fine with a decent amount of slop. So we'll call it with that. Rather than making it any smaller, and I will adjust my size to fit this one. Cool. All right, next, this one. Flip it, cut it, drill it. I don't think I want to try to get two out of here just because I'm not going to be able to reference it flat into the face of the jaws. So I already got the wood cut anyways. And we'll bring it out just slightly so I don't have to cut right next to the jaws. Woo! Hey, it didn't break. Yeah, a little bit of a catch and knocked her out of there. Didn't break though. I was wondering if that was happening. The cuts are getting a little bit heavy, and we haven't got any support back there. So no harm, no foul. Good thing I have my face shield on too. Didn't get me, but that was a good thing. We got a runner. Okay. Oh, I gotta change it for the outside now, don't I? Yeah, which one? I guess it doesn't matter. They're all about the same, aren't they? Ooh, a little under, but just barely. Prototype. Push that all the way back. I'll take a couple swipes there, and then we'll get the holes drilled. These ones I don't have to do any kind of cutting, so we can test this one right away in the barn and see if it's going to work. Okay. Switch drill bits. Get this plate centered. Oh yeah, that had to be it. Oh yeah, there we go. I was like, why is the drill bit hitting off to the side? I just didn't have it quite centered in the chuck before I tightened it down. Okay, there we go, all the way through. Just a little bit of a squeal. Make sure you're all awake. Still got 7 people out there hanging in there with us. I appreciate it. I think for the next show, I'd like to do maybe another lidded box or a hollow form. I had an idea for a lidded box that I wanted to try. I thought it would be kind of fun. But also, I haven't turned a hollow form in a while, and I just did a lidded box. So maybe hollow form might be in order next. And then I'll save the lidded box for the following show. There we go. Okay. So this one's essentially done. I am gonna add a little bit of tool mark on the outside. Let's give this a shot. Actually, I've got to make sure I got the right size Allen wrench. We'll see if I can get the hold in the bar ends the way it's supposed to. All right. So this one is supposed to take the bolt, pop it in, and then you've got this plug. Oh yeah, we get just enough to get about two and a half threads on there. So let's give it a shot. I have to make sure that I have this right Allen wrench. Hey, that'll work. I think. Nope, too small. Okay. 1 second. Let me grab an Allen wrench. I think it's a 4. Or some American size. American size it is. .3/16. Okay. This is about, yeah, fits in there pretty snug. Let me tighten it down just a little bit. See if I can see it expanding. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. I don't know exactly how much it expands, but let's give it a shot. Just slip it in there. Make sure you can see what I'm doing. Oop, almost. See me a stress test. Hey. Oh yeah. That thing's in there. Cool, man. I'm excited. From concept to reality. That's kind of cool how this thing works too. Smashes in on itself and just expands out. This might be the move versus the split ones. I think these will be harder or easier to use and maybe more reliable. Let's see. Crank it down though. Yeah, that thing's in there, and you really don't need to crank down on it. Just tight enough to where it's not going to fall out. Cool. Doesn't seem like it's pulling the screw through it all either. Nice. Yeah, looking good. I'm excited about that one. So let's bash out the rest of these. And then if you guys are still into it, I'll take it over to my little woodworking device, and we'll cut the slits down these other ones. Looks like we got 9 people out there. Let me jump over to the other camera real quick, have a drink, and we'll go out to the chat. Looks like my buddy Jim Bashirs is out there, was asking about what I'm making. So we got some handlebar ends for a BMX bike. It really could be for anything. Two separate designs. So the first design is the one I just put in the end. So I'm really excited that it worked. It uses one of these rubber expansion plugs and about a quarter. No, it's not quarter 20. Maybe a little. It might be a little machine head screw with Allen. So I countersunk it down into there, tightens itself and expands into the handlebars. The other design, will use the same screw. And these are the ones we already turned at the beginning of the show. So this one, basically the same deal. Recess for the head of the screw, goes through, and it just catches a couple threads of this little grade 8. I forget what this one's called, but I'm going to split it, cut a split in the side of it so that as this pulls through, it's going to expand it out and hold the bars, or hold it inside the handlebars. So I got 3 more of these ones to turn, and then got to cut the slits in these. Oh, also, I got to make a chuck, or not a chuck, but a little thing to drop them down into so I can laser engrave them, which I think I'll just probably drill a hole this width that I can just drop them straight in there. Then I can clamp this in my laser engraver. Okay, next up, we'll see if we could do this without having one fly out. No guarantees. Okay, let me switch you over. Oh, and let's see. I'm open up my other drink. Just about done with this one. Okay, here we go. Oh, about to crack open the hibiscus LaCroix. This one is interesting. 11 people out there. Cheers to all 11 of you. Hope you're having a good quarantine. Keeping yourself busy, working on your side hustles or your main hustles, or whether you're essential or not. Hope you're staying safe. I, for one, am 100% non-essential, unfortunately, so I'm going to keep on doing this. And there we go. Maybe take that away. Clean off my monkey. Cool. Here we go. One of the back, I need a couple of these calipers so I don't have to keep switching them. Make sure we're at a 1/2 inch to a little bit more. Cool. I'm going to clamp it all the way in this time. So we got the face of the jaw is resting up against the bottom of the piece. So hopefully she's not going to come flying out this time. A little bit more of a crank. I don't want to crank too much on the part that goes into the bars, or it's going to distort it because it's soft. About 1/8 inch more. A little bit more. One of those was a little small. Yep, still a bit more. A bit of a flat spot. Just beyond that flat spot will be good. Cool. A little tight. Whew. Gotta remember which direction it's spinning. Okay. Get it drilled. These ones are going pretty quick. What do you guys think? You enjoy watching this kind of stuff, or have you preferred watching the, like the lidded boxes and the bowls and things like that, tops? What do you think? Because I know it's not a lot of technique, a whole lot of technique as far as tool-wise, because just a lot of, repetition. And you got to be a little more accurate. So not as showy as if I'm flinging shavings all over the place. Next up, there it is. Ooh, I gotta go back to the hardware store, unfortunately, and buy a couple more pieces. I didn't plan on making 2 sets of each one, but then I thought maybe it'll be a good idea just to have a set of each one in each color. So I got the light wood and the dark wood. They call it golden days too. I could even dye them. You could dye these yellow and then put a logo around it. That might look kind of cool. Okay, on to, man, those ones go much quicker. On to the maple. Craig Mullen thinks it's interesting. I appreciate that, Craig. I think it's pretty interesting too. Like I was saying, not quite as showy as maybe throwing some shavings all over the place with your bull gouge, but still pretty cool. Cool. All right, here we go. Okay. Just about there. I need one more set of these calipers. Just a touch more. Cool. Ultimate test. Look right there at the top. Needs a little bit more off. There we go. I keep grabbing the wrong dang Allen wrench. It's getting late. I need a cup of coffee. There it is. Almost there. Okay. One thing we talked about doing with these too, which I think is going to be cool, just have to get my hands on it, is putting a piece of brass pipe or copper pipe around the outside of it. So you see the wood in here, and you got kind of a brass piece inlaid on the wood. So that'll class it up a bit, and I think look pretty cool. I doubt it'll add any strength, but it'll look really sweet. Almost there. Just about. Almost there. Got a little bit of a flat spot. A little tighter at the front than it is at the back. We still got that little flat spot. Luckily, you guys can't see it, so I won't worry about it. How to do this? Oh. Back into the chuck jaws. We'll take a cut off the face of it and drill it. We're done with these. I lost my little square of paper. Cool. I'll just chamfer the edge with my sandpaper. Oh no, one more. Whoops. Almost there. One more to turn after this one. Getting ahead of myself. maybe possible to stabilize these things too. But I don't know if that's really going to add much more strength to it. Impact resistance type of strength if the bike is hitting the ground. It may just be a little more decorative than anything. Let's see, deep enough. Oh, a little bit more. Just a touch. Cool. Next up, and this will be our last one. And I just have to cut the other ones. I could even cut a slit in the other ones real fast just to see if that style is going to work before I close the live show. Still got 7 people out there. Bill Bicknicker. Let's see. We are making handlebar ends for bicycles. So it's specifically a BMX bike. A wooden bar plug. I have a set of bars right here, so it'll go right inside. And then this one has a rubber expansion plug. So as you tighten the bolt, the plug gets bigger, holds itself in there. The other style that we're doing is going to have a bolt, same style of bolt that runs through it, but has a this at the end of it that's got a little tiny chamfer at the end, and then I put a taper on the inside of this hole. So when I cut a slit down it, it'll expand as this travels down the there we go. As this little nut travels down the thread, it'll expand it inside and hopefully hold it in too. So far, the ones with the rubber plugs have been working well. I haven't had a chance to cut one of these, so we're all kind of prototyping it tonight just to see how these turn out. It's a collaboration with a BMX bike shop down in Long Beach called Golden Days. So if anybody's interested, there's a link to their YouTube channel in the description below here or below the video. They do like BMX product reviews, BMX riding kind of videos. So if you're not into BMX, not necessarily woodworking, but I'm super into BMX, so it's cool to be able to collaborate with like a rider-owned shop and support small business. Cool. Got that. Now we need to get the diameter. Probably a little bit more. Just a hair. Cool. All right. Just about. One little flat spot. Cool. All right. Let me, oh, you know what? That first. Cool, nice and clean. Let's get this drilled. And sand it up a little bit. All right, we're getting there. Cool. That'll do it on that one. All right. And while I'm still at the lathe, I'm going to swap the chuck for my larger chuck, and I'm going to drill that piece for mounting them in my laser engraver. And then I'll switch the camera around and we'll cut out the slot in one of the other bar ends and see if we can get it to clamp inside the handlebars. Put that over here. So this is just a piece of white oak scrap, but it's good and square. That's the important part. I'm just going to clamp it in. I don't need this to be very big. I'll probably end up cutting about, I don't know, I'll only need maybe 3/4 of an inch. I just want the one hole that this will slip all the way through, and then a hole up here that this will fit into. I think, actually, you know what? I don't need to really have it sitting flush against the top, but, you know, having the ability to, I guess if these are off, it might be off, so this might be more consistent. See, I'm talking to myself out loud and not making any sense anymore. Somebody yell at me when I start doing that. Too much thinking. I'm trying to figure out the problem here. I want to come at it straight on. Move you guys a little bit for now. Maybe better back here. I'm going to need the tail stick. We're going to use our carbide again. Actually, we might need to use the parting tool because the carbide's a little wider, so it'll be cutting over the center line. In that case, I'm going to pull this back just a bit. Go wider anyway. I don't know what I'm thinking. I got to cut the spot for this first before I cut the spot for that. So we'll be good. Still a little high. Drop the tool rest just a little bit. Cutting above the center line. Still going to be a little ways to go. Yeah, I probably have a better way of doing this. Forstner bit would probably work, but I'm sure I don't have one, that's exactly the size of that. It's a little bit catchy when you're going in to end grain like that and taking a big cut. Hey, that one goes in there good. I'm going to have to check them all. That one goes in there good too. Yeah, that one's, yeah. These are all not perfect, but close. This one seems to be the largest one here. And it's still fitting in there good. So shave it away just a little bit. Oh, what am I doing? See, it must be getting close to the end of the day. I forgot to put my tool rest up. Just about there on that one. Yeah, it will go down in there. Just need to clear a little bit more material out of there. Like I mentioned, this one is just a little wide. It cuts over the center line, which is not something that I want to be doing. This one's a little tapered. The issue I'm running into is I'm going to start hitting on the sides of my tool, so it's not going to want to go in perfectly straight because the hole needs to be bigger for the tool to push all the way in. What do I got in my arsenal over here? Oh, this one might do it. My box scraper that I pulled out. Maybe. It seems to be it's a little thick now. It's hitting at the bottom. And I don't want to be shoving anything too far in there. Just to clean it up. Yeah, that's a little thick too. Well, we'll keep trying to chip away at it. With the, oh wait, the modified little box scraper might do it. It's thinner. That might get it. Just a little too thick. What's happening is it's rubbing right there and it's lifting the whole piece off. So I'm not able to get a good cut. There's just such a small hole. Ideally, I'd be able to drill, use a drill bit. This, I can probably schlank it a little bit, which is a technical term. So I turn it. Just coming at an angle, and I'm able to clear where it's hitting. Cool. That should do it. Like I said, I'll take it to my table saw, put it in my miter gauge, and just slice about a ½ inch off the top. So that hole is going to poke through the bottom anyways, and I'll be able to reference the bar ends. So they'll sit in there like that and just slightly down from the top. Cool. Well, that'll do it for this one. Yeah, I think that'll do good. Slightly bigger, but I'll just have to remember when I'm referencing it, I'll reference it off one side when I'm doing the laser engraving. Cool. Let me switch you over here to my woodworking vise, and I'll see about clamping these things down, at least one of them, and getting a slice on it and see how we do. Need the nut, the bolt, the Allen wrench to tighten it, and the handlebar. Cool. Probably get you in a little closer too. Give me a second. Let me go grab my saw. As you can see, I have a lot of pieces here, so feel free to visit braxtonworthland.com and shop beautiful bowls, lidded boxes, and hollow forms, all from the comfort and safety of your own home. They will arrive in a pre-sterilized package. Hey, you could even buy some laser signs. Wash your filthy hands. Okay, let me grab my saw. Finish this up. Okay. Let me switch my computer so I can see what you guys see. Let me pull you in a little bit. Bear with me while I adjust the tripod. Okay, so I'm shooting to split this hole, I think. Well, it's pretty shiny. I don't know if you guys can see that. I got this Woodworking in America, I think 2016. Bought it from the Bad Axe booth. But I don't get to use it too often for dovetails. But man, it sure is nice. I love it. So probably standing up will be best. I'm not sure if I want to try to take 2 slits or just one. I better stick for one for now. So this is all just trial and error here. Light on the startup. And I need to secure this a little better. I'm cutting my finger in half. Okay. Don't want to go too deep. 10 people watching now. So we got our slit down there. Yeah, I can see it moving it. Promising. We don't want to tighten it while it's outside the bars, though, because it'll definitely split it. We just get it going. And then we'll put it inside the handlebars. Move that bad axe. You lift more than I am. Now I don't have to tighten you in, and we'll see if it's going to work. So I just got it started. Gotta keep the handle on the bar end to keep it from moving. Feel it. And it's sliding up in there. See, I don't know if these ones are going to work. The other ones might be the winner with the rubber stopper. This one, there's definitely more room for user error, I would say. Oh, yeah, hear that? And splitting it? Yep, bummer. So we're starting to split it right in half, which makes sense now that I think about it. But live and learn, right? So, yeah. So I think probably the issue is I didn't make the inside diameter quite big enough. I bet if I would have made it a little bit bigger so there was less slop in there and this didn't have to move so much, we might have avoided that. But also, now that I think about it, any kind of outward movement here is going to want to make it split. But this is a fun experiment. Kind of works. I can still get it to hold in there, but do have a split. So, one success, one not so much success. What do you guys think? Let me grab the other ones. We'll show you what we made tonight. All is not lost, though, because really all I have to do is alter these ones and make them like these ones. So just cut this down, go get some more of the little expansion plugs, and we'll be good. Kind of a fun evening. What did it take us? Close to 3 hours. 2:45, which isn't bad. Good way to kill the evening, huh? If I could find a little bit bigger expansion plug also, that would probably help. But this is just going off of what I've got available at my local hardware store. But yeah, hey, works pretty good though. Had fun turning some stuff, got some experience, learned that this one will not work because it causes it to split. Let's see if we can take it all the way. There we go. Hey, now we got a nice cross section. There. Cool. Well, just got to alter these other ones to match these ones. We'll be good to go. Turn one more walnut to make up for this broken one. Nice. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for now. Let me get a drink. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. I appreciate it. I've been having fun getting on here and turning with you guys. I think next time, looks like Jason voted for a Hall of Form. Yep. So let's do the Hall of Form next time. I got it on my list. I think it'll be fun to do. Got a couple pieces of wood. I don't want to go too big. I want to be able to finish it in a reasonable amount of time. But I got a couple pieces of walnut. We could do a cross grain, green mesquite piece. A few different choices. So maybe we'll shoot for Thursday for the next live show. Stuff's so up in the air, I can't guarantee. It's really hard to know what I got going on, but I'll try to give everybody a little bit more notice for the next one. If you want to help out the show, there's a bunch of links down in the description. Super chats are always cool. Help me buy some sandpaper or whatever else. Keep the show rolling. I got my PayPal, my Venmo, Cash App, all that stuff down there if you want to throw me a couple bucks for another 12-pack of LaCroix or just to help support what I got going on. Also, if you want to do something that doesn't cost you any money, there's an Amazon affiliate link that you can click on, make your normal Amazon purchases, and then I get a little cut of that. And that'll be another way to help rolling along, or keep things rolling along, I should say. What else? I've got a Starbond CA glue affiliate link too. So if you click on that link, buy any of the Starbond glues, you can use the code Braxton at checkout. It'll get you 10% off, and it'll get me 10% too. So win-win-win for you, for Starbond, and for myself. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Until next time, keep those shavings flying. We'll see ya. Now I got to turn it off here and broadcast. See you, Gary. See you, Jason. See you, Patrick. Until next time, hopefully Thursday. We'll see what we got going on, though.